Okay, you need to stop being such a people pleaser. I see so many people and they literally just do everything in their power to please other people and to help other people, to be there for other people, but nobody's actually there for them. And you know how I know that? Because I was a people pleaser. And I've been always, my entire life, been there for other people, right? I always tried to help people. I always wanted to make everything just better. Even if people didn't even want my help, I still wanted to help them. I still wanted to fix them. I still wanted to, make them better because I believed so much in them. I saw their potential. I was like, oh my God, I just want to help you, But I realized why I did that. I did that because I needed to fix myself. And because it was so hard to deal with my own stuff, because every single time I had to deal with my own stuff, I felt alone, I felt left out, I felt not understood, and I felt just like, I can't do this on my own, right? And nobody is actually able to help me with my burden, that I rather try to, please others and help others than to actually fix myself. And that needs to stop. Hi guys, I'm Alina and welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing a little bit of a late night video over here because I got just inspired about talking about people pleasing. Because I see that in so many people, they do everything and they have such good hearts. And you know what? One time somebody told me that I'm too naive. He told me that and he was like, you need to be more cold. You need to be more cold. And I was just asking myself, how should I do that? Because I'm just naturally a kind-hearted person. Like, I'm understanding, I'm very empathic, and I am caring. A little bit later, I truly understood what he meant. But what I was saying back then was, I rather am falling on my nose and stand up again and fight instead of turning cold and just be like everyone else. Because that's not me. And over the years, I realized that I can still be me, but I can still also put myself first. And I don't need to play myself. I don't need to be the clown for other people. I don't need to, just please everybody and just do everything for everyone, because that's not healthy. You need to focus on yourself. You need to love yourself more. You need to love yourself first, because guys, that's another thing that I heard, you cannot fully love somebody else before you actually love yourself. And that is so true. And I just realized that, years and years later, I had to learn the hard way. I was a people pleaser. I always tried to make everything perfect. I always tried to be there for everybody else, right? I did the weirdest and the crazier things to actually be there for people, guys. I'm that type of person. If somebody would call me in the middle of the night, I need to, go to them, I would literally drop everything and everyone and just drive to that person. I don't care with what kind of traffic method it is. If I had to go by bus, by train, by plane, I would just go, right? Because that is how deeply I care and love for people. But at a certain point, I had to realize, you know what? It doesn't make me a bad person if I'm a little less pleasing, but actually, putting myself first. So this video is all going to be about how to stop being a people pleaser and how to love yourself first. I'm here to tell you now and break it down for you, and I'm going to tell you the harsh truth that you all need to hear to wake up and actually, turn inwards, look into the mirror, and you tell yourself, no. Enough is enough. I'm going to stop being a people pleaser and I'm going to focus on myself, and I'm going to learn how to heal and to love myself first, because that is the most important thing, and you are the most important person in your life. And I want you to know that, because I didn't know that. Because for years and years, I felt left out. I felt unheard, unseen. I felt, nobody understands me. Nobody gets me, right? Until I finally shared my story. Then there was a change. Some people understood me better. But that also indicated for me to stop being a people pleaser and to stop putting other people first. Because what I did was I constantly thought about what other people might think of me, with me coming out with my truth, with me sharing my story. But you cannot ask yourself what other people might think, because in the end, it's you versus you every single day. So you need to realize how important it is to really just focus on yourself and to love yourself. And if you are right now in a relationship where you're not happy and you expect your partner to make you happy, no. You can't do that. You cannot put the burden onto somebody else to make you happy. You know why? Because you need to make yourself happy. Because happiness starts from within. Why there are so many people out there, millionaires and billionaires, they have all the money in the world. They seem like they have it all, but they're still unhappy. They still kill themselves. You know, there's a lot of superstars that did that. And you think like, wow, their life must be so perfect. No, it's not. You know why? Because they're not happy from within. They don't love themselves. Because if they did, they would never do that to themselves. So you need to learn how to properly love yourself. The first thing that you need to do is you need to stop criticizing yourself. You need to stop talking down on yourself as if you would like talk to your biggest enemy, because you're not. Like, imagine you would talk to a friend like this. You think that person would still be your friend? No, they will cut you off because they're like, who's that toxic mean bitch that thinks she can say just everything to me? No, you would cut that person off without questions asked. So stop talking to yourself like that. Stop criticizing yourself, right? Stop being so hard on yourself. Stop trying to make everything perfect, because you're not, okay? We get this. Everyone's trying to, make everything seem so perfect all the time. Everyone's like seeming like they all have their shit together, but guess what? Nobody has. Nobody has. I don't have my shit together. I'm still making these videos here and, like telling you guys how you can get your shit together. But I mean, we're all in the same thing, right? I mean, everything that I know, I can share with you guys. And this is what I do. I learn to teach, right? And I'm so passionate about this, as you can tell. But there's still so many things that I need to learn. But these things that I did learn, I just want to, share it with the world, because it's so important that we all just stick together, be more vulnerable, be more honest, and be just, transforming ourselves. The next thing that you need to do is you need to talk to yourself words of love. And you need to learn how to say no to things that don't serve you. Whether it's people, whether it's situations, events, whatever it is, right? So for example, tonight, right? Tonight, I actually got ready, like my makeup's all ready, like I'm sitting here in my little, my little freaking whatever this is, right? But I got ready and I wanted to go out with my mom, because she wanted to go to this street party, whatever, where there's like, like singers and bands or whatever. So today I'm feeling a little bit anxious. I didn't felt like being in crowds of people. I didn't feel like I want to be around like a lot of people, because that means a lot of energy that I have to, catch. And I'm really big on energy, guys. I'm like an empath. So I feel like literally everything. And I feel pressured sometimes when I go to certain places. So I didn't feel like it. But I felt bad because I had to tell my mom, like, I don't want to go out, I want to stay home and actually like work on myself. And sometimes I feel nobody gets that when I'm saying that, because I'm young, like you're supposed to go out and have fun and like do crazy stuff, but like sometimes I just feel like I want to stay home. And I told her like, I don't want to go. And first I felt bad. And then you know what? I felt so relieved. I felt so much better, because now I'm here. I can talk to you guys. I can actually do so much, more with my time than to stand there and literally just, wait until I can finally go home again. So say no to things that do not serve you. Think about yourself first. Ask yourself, what would Alina do? Well, not what I would do, but, ask yourself with your own name. Like your 2.0 version. What would that person do in this situation? Ask yourself that. The next thing that you need to do is you need to be able to enjoy your own company. This is how you truly learn to love yourself. And the best thing that I recommend you guys doing it is travel on your own. Honestly, traveling on my own has been such a blessing. And I remember when, my aunt told me one time, hey, like traveling alone was like the biggest thing for me to really find myself. And that always stuck in my mind. But I always was so afraid to travel alone, And one time I had to travel alone for my business. And that was the first time I ever got on a plane alone. And I could never before that imagine that, And then I was on so many flights through the last couple of years. I've been on countless and countless of flights. I traveled to, so many countries and cities all alone by myself. And I don't even bother anymore. I don't even care. Like, it's normal for me, right? But the first step is always the hardest. And then you have to see, like, your fear, of thinking about you cannot do something is only there because you've never done it. But once you've done it, it's like nothing. It's like, whatever. I could have done this before, way before. But so many times we're holding ourselves back because we think we cannot achieve something, but we actually can. You know how powerful we are as human beings? You know how powerful your mind is? No, you don't know. Because then you would not watch this video right now. So let's learn, right? Your mind is powerful. Your body is powerful. You can achieve anything that you want. So stop limiting yourself. Start enjoying your own company. Because when you know what happens then, you stop caring about what other people think. You stop asking everyone for advice, because most of the time when we're asking people for advice, it's the wrong people. Like, we're asking people for advice, like what we should do with our money, how should we invest it, what we should do, that have no freaking money, that are broke. How do you expect, to have good money advice from a person that is broke? You can't. So stop asking for advice from the wrong type of people. You need to start asking people that have what you want. So what happens when you start being more alone with yourself? You value your own opinion more. You know what that does to you? It gives you confidence to execute, to do the things that you would like to do, not anybody else. So traveling alone, or just like being in your own company and like start saying no to things and situations, events that doesn't really serve you, and you don't want to do it, but you just do it for somebody else. No, like, let's stop that right here, right? You need to start being alone with yourself and enjoy your own company, because that, then you will learn how to love yourself. The next thing you need to do is choose wisely with who you spend your time with. Are you spending your time with people that are dragging on to you, that are, nagging, that are constantly cheering you down? No. You want to be surrounded by people that push you forward, that won't tell you when you're like, doing a lot, oh my God, you're doing too much. That will tell you, hey, I love that you're doing this. Do more of it. I can see you, it makes you happy. These type of people that really support you, that are not telling you all the time how shitty, they think of themselves or about you, but how actually impressed they are by you. These are the type of people that you want to hang around with, that push you, that want to see you win. Because these type of people that want to, really want to see you win, you will not try to please them. Because these people, they will support you no matter what. And this is what actual friendship is. You don't really have a friendship, like an actual real friendship based on love and appreciation and real values, if you constantly just try to please them. That's not a real friendship. Next thing you can do to value your own opinion more, to stop being a people pleaser, is to go out alone, right? That kind of is the same thing with the travel thing, but going out alone, going into a restaurant or a coffee shop or somewhere, even to the theater, go alone. Go into a bar alone. We always think oh my God, I need my friends to do this with me. No, you don't need anybody. You don't need anybody to do anything with you. You can do everything on your own. People always ask me, oh, Alina, how do you do your content? I cannot become a content creator because I have nobody to take pictures of me. Are you lost? Really, are you lost in life? Who needs a person these days to do anything for you? You can do everything by yourself. It's not that I don't want to have anybody do things for me. Of course, I have a lot of people that do support me, but I know that I can do everything also by myself. And that gives me the power to make a very clear and valid decision with who I want to spend my precious time with. So if you think next time that you cannot do something alone, for instance, content creation, you buy yourself a tripod, you put that tripod, and then you take your phone, and then you press this thingy where you can, the timer, where you can put either 3 seconds or even 10 seconds, and then you go, a few steps away, and your phone will take pictures of you automatically. Isn't that amazing? So you don't need anybody else anymore. Don't tell me that you need anybody for anything. You don't need that. Also when it comes to business, so many people tell me all the time, oh, my friends are not supportive. My mom said I shouldn't be doing this. Please. Are you your own, human being? Do you have your own opinion? Can you please like decide what you want to do and then stick with it, no matter what anybody says, no matter what any negative Nancy says? We don't need negative Nancy's in our lives. So unless people don't have anything valid and like, constructive or nice, actually just nice to say, they should just be quiet. And if they can't do that, then you need to tell them. You need to speak up for yourself. And this is why I'm so, I'm excited, because people just stopped speaking up for themselves. And this is exactly why I'm doing this channel, because people need to know how to freaking speak up for themselves again. Because I'm literally just tired of all these people hiding things and being fake and being, acting like they all got it all figured out when they actually don't. And I know it because I'm dealing with so many people on a daily basis, that talk to me within my business, and nobody has their shit together. And it's okay, It's okay, because we're all just here on a learning experience. It's a learning progress, and we need to be okay with that. But at the same time, we need to stop being so embarrassing. Like, come on, guys. Like, we can all do this. Like, we have so much potential. So stop, thinking that you need anybody's support to do something these days. Nobody supported me for my business. Nobody. Not even my mom. Like, everybody just laughed at me, There were, maybe few people that were like, oh yeah, just do what you want. But I had to do it by myself. I didn't wait for anybody's approval, So you need to really learn, like, what you want to do is valid just because you want to do it. You don't need to please anybody with what you do, other than yourself. So you need to stop thinking like, oh my God, I need, I need my boyfriend or my mom or anybody to support me. You don't. You can do everything on your own. You just need to believe in yourself. Because when that happens, when you pair a desire with belief and you start executing, what happens? Magic happens. And then you will manifest your life, your dream life. You know how many times I wrote things down? You know what I did? Really funny story. I wrote myself a check when I was literally jobless. When I was literally jobless, I wrote myself a check worth $10,000. I've never in my entire life made so much money. The most amount of money I made at that time was like a little bit over $1,000, like 1,200 or something. That was like the biggest check that I ever received before taxes. Okay, so not even 7 months later, I made even more than that amount. And I don't tell you guys this to brag, but to tell you guys that anything is possible if you make a decision and if you truly work for it and if you really want something. Because, if you pair that desire with that, emotional, like that emotional desire and that passion with that certainty and that belief that you really can achieve something no matter what anybody has to say, then you will truly stop being a people pleaser, because you do everything on your own terms. And this is what freedom is all about, doing things on your terms, So if you right now, if you don't feel free, if you feel like literally trapped, if you feel like you're, in a prison or something, like in your own mind or in your environment, then you need to break free. And then you need to just, go a different route. And then you need to stop pleasing everybody. Because the minute that you do that, you stop loving yourself. You stop putting yourself as a priority. So start putting yourself as a priority again. The next thing, stop scaring yourself. And what that means is usually most of the time when we're planning something, when we're trying to do something, is we are constantly thinking about the worst case scenario. Like, oh my God, what if I lose all my money? What if I just waste my time? What if this person doesn't love me back? What if? But instead of asking, what if this is the best thing that ever happened to me? We're always just imagining the worst case scenario. Why do we do that? Let's be honest. We need to stop this bullshit. We need to stop being so negative all the time, because what happens is most of the time, these worst case scenarios, they never happen. Never. I never had a time in my life where I imagined something bad to happen and it happens exactly like that. Most of the time, it's just bullshit, and we're scaring ourselves and we're making ourselves fearful, and then we're not doing the things that we want to do. So the things that we were even imagining, like the worst case scenario, is never happening because it right away stops us from actually doing what we want to do. So we need to stop doing that, okay? So stop imagining the worst case scenario, because start imagining the best case scenario. And what happens when you do that is you actually, imagination is, I already told you that. So your imagination, guys, is really powerful. If you start imagining how amazing your life could be, and you imagine, this money coming in, the person you love the most loves you back, you are literally living your best life, and you start to feel good about it, like you're imagining all this and you start to become happy and excited. What happens then? You start attracting those things because you vibrate on a different vibration. And you love yourself because you're excited about your life again, and you live life on your terms, and this is what true freedom is all about. Living life on your terms, loving yourself, stop pleasing everybody, and just do whatever the fuck you want to do. Be gentle, kind, and patient with yourself. What is really the killer in anything that you could do? To be like, oh my God, why is this not happening faster? And what is really funny, guys? When I started to build my business in the beginning, I was really happy and excited in the beginning. And then I got to a certain point where I was like, oh my God, I want more. And I started to become impatient. And you know what happened then? Because I was so attached to the outcome, I was not really excited anymore. I was just attached to the outcome and to the result. It literally, my business started to go down again. And I was like, what is going on? I'm working so hard. I'm doing all this. What is going on? I was so angry and I was so mad because I was so attached to this goal and this outcome that it actually didn't happen. And this is the secret, guys. If you want to achieve success, if you want to live your dream life, if you truly want to live life on your terms, you need to stop being so attached on the outcome. You need to stop being attached to that life. And this is kind of funny. And this is the trick of it, because most people think, oh my God, I need to just want it the most and as badly as I need to, because then I will get it. No, you will actually get it if you know it's already yours and you don't need to pressure anything. And this is when truly the magic happens, because then you're not attached, because deep down, I already have it. It's already mine. It's already on its way. So I don't need to panic. I don't need to be frustrated. I don't need to be impatient and mad and just angry, because that will get you back to your old vibration of not having it. And that is a place of lack. You're coming from a place of lack and not having it. And this is why you don't get it. Because the universe will always mirror what you put out there, right? So you need to stop doing that. You need to really imagine what you want, and then know deep down with certainty in your heart and belief that you already have it, and you will stop being attached. And this is when truly all the blessings will come in, because that is when you come from a place of abundance, because you know that you already have it, and then all those manifestations will start to come in. So if you're having any trouble with your manifestations are not coming in, ask yourself, maybe you are too attached to it. And the last thing I'm going to talk about today is you need to be okay with making mistakes. We're all not perfect human beings. I already told you guys this, everyone just acts like they have it all together, but everyone's deep down struggling with something, right? And you need to realize that successful people, they don't have their shit together. They have their problems as well, Maybe they have more money and they can handle, things differently, but they still do have problems every single day. It's not like you get to a certain amount of money or success or, happiness and you will never have problems again. Yes, you will, but you will learn how to handle things differently. You will stop just, pleasing other people, and you will love yourself so much that you will just realize that you can handle anything what life throws at you. And this is for me, guys, honestly, I've been through so much that I know I can get through anything. I will survive anything because I did that, I survived my past basically. So this is how I know. And this is why I'm so certain that yes, I do go through, tough times, and I, have my bad days, but I know I will get through it. I know that God is with me. I know that I'm protected and guided, and anything that I'm going through is just temporary defeat before all my blessings come in. So you need to be okay with making mistakes, right? Put your hand like this, right? Do it with me right now together. So put your hand like this. right? So you see like which side of your thumb is up, right? For me, it's like my left side. I'm having a hard time with like left and right, guys.
But like, this is left and this is right. It's not me thinking about 5 minutes if this is left and this is right. Okay, we got this. All right, cool.
So put your hand together like this and you see which thumb is up. So now do it again, but the other side with your other thumb up. How do you feel? Feels weird, right? Like, put it back again. This feels familiar. When you do this, it feels weird again. But now, like, do it a couple times. You know? Do it a couple times. Hold it like this. And you will realize in the beginning, things that feel really uncomfortable and things that feel like they are wrong, they're not necessarily wrong. They just, you know, feel different. And that's okay. You know, you need to get used to making these mistakes because failure only brings us forward. Guys, so many people are constantly just afraid to make mistakes, and that is a huge part of people pleasing and not fully loving yourself because you're not accepting yourself the way you should be because you're trying to be perfect. You're trying to please other people. And the highest form of love is self-love. So with you being okay with making mistakes, to realize, hey, I'm just a human being. I'm not perfect. I'm trying my best every single day, you know? I'm trying to really just move forward and learn and get better and grow. This is what life is all about. And this is, you know, the form of self-love and a form of stop pleasing people because you don't need to please anybody. It doesn't matter if you do mistakes or not because in the end, you're just all doing it for yourself. You're just here to live your best life, not anybody else's. So you need to be okay with making these mistakes because in the end, they will bring you further. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave me a thumbs up, leave me a comment if you liked it. Let's all just get better, guys, okay? Like, we need to stop pleasing people. We need to start loving ourselves more. Put yourself first. You're your own biggest priority. And I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I see you guys in my next video. Bye.